What we do is plant or harvest or hay or feed cattle or whatever we can do so that the family can focus on recovery, getting better, or rebuilding, or whatever it is they're recovering from, so that their business has continuity. They can keep going. A lot of these smaller family farms don't have a ton of labor, so if one of the principals is out of the picture for whatever reason, it's a real struggle for them to get their work done. We just want to make sure that they are able to get through that and keep going. We are in 9 states, so we serve Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and then Iowa and Nebraska, Kansas, Illinois, and our most recent state is Wisconsin. So this is our first season in Wisconsin. And talking to a group of folks like you, you're just like, so that sounds awesome. How can we help farm rescue? Obviously, the most important thing for us is to serve farm families and ranch families that need help. And as you all know, that's a challenge because they don't ask for help. Even if they need it badly. They're suffering, but they're always thinking of somebody else or something else is worse or my neighbors can help or whatever. And so the last thing they want to do is reach out. So what I would encourage everybody listening to do is make sure that the word about the availability of farm rescue gets out to every single farm and ranch family so they know about our services that we provide. And then if there's a connection with that family, please refer them to us so that we know about them, and we'll reach out to them and offer our services. A lot of times that's more acceptable than them reaching out to us themselves. So that's one way you can help. Also, obviously, if there's opportunities for supporting our operations financially, that's always awesome. But certainly recruiting volunteers, we have about 600 volunteers from 49 states. So whether it's employees of a company or a retail situation or the farm and ranch families themselves, if they want to volunteer, we love to have more help always.
So. Oh, okay. Since we're here in Des Moines, Iowa, of course, at Tech Hub Live 2024, I know our first Tech Hub a couple of years back, when we were here at that point, the one word on everyone's lips was derecho. Yeah. The derecho had just gone through the area a couple of months just before our meeting. Was Farm Rescue involved with helping out the farmers during that time, or was that a little before the time?
No, we were. We've been serving farmers in the state of Iowa for a number of years. And so, as everybody's aware, there was a lot of equipment that was damaged, machine sheds, combines, trucks, trailers, similar to what's happened the last couple springs in Iowa with tornadoes. So we were able to actually come in and help those folks who weren't able to harvest the crop themselves because their equipment had been damaged or destroyed. They hadn't gotten back on their feet. So we were able to help in a few instances with that. But that's the type of a thing that certainly qualifies somebody for applying for help, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because, I know that was several years ago that happened, but I still hear the after effects from certain farms I visit, that it's still present. They still mention derecho in hushed tones, if you will. So
yeah.
If you could then, I know for myself, again, an organization like Farm Rescue doing very important work, but I always kind of, I guess as a journalist, I always kind of think, okay, can you take this down to like one example? So if I asked you to give me an example of a case where Farm Rescue helped a farm family in need that sticks out in your mind for either the reasons that you were getting involved or the end result from Farm Rescue's help. Can you don't have to name names, but just an example of how Farm Rescue helped out one farm family in need and why that was special?
I can. You probably know that you're asking a very tough question because we've helped so many. In fact, I think we just passed just over 1,100 families we've helped since our founding in 2005. But, being a farm kid myself and having a special heart for farmers and for agriculture and for the daily struggles they go through, farming is hard. It's tough work. It's hard work. It's dangerous work. And one that brings to mind is a family from northeast Iowa by Charles City. They're not young anymore, but still farming. They farm about 1,200 acres of corn and soybeans and pasture, and they have a few head of cows, so still a cow-calf operation, and sell the calves off. Well, so it was early in the spring, it was early April, and he was out tagging calves. And one of the mama cows took offense to the fact he was doing that and kicked him right in the knee and shattered it. And so here it is. It's planting time. He's down for the count. He's in Mayo having his knee reconstructed, put back together, and just so happened that the local John Deere dealer knew about farm rescue and recommended that he get a hold of us and see if we could help. In fact, he did. I would say within 2 days, we had equipment positioned there. We went to the local John Deere dealer, started working with them, and within a couple of days, we were getting his corn planted. And he was so grateful. He was beside himself. He didn't know what to do. He had some neighbors that could help with the field work, but they didn't know how to run his planter. He had a new planter with a lot of this technology we were talking about here. And obviously, he wants his crop put in right? He wants the right variety in the right field at the right row spacing at the right depth, right population. And, when our guys showed up, our volunteers, and said, hey, don't worry. Well, you just tell us where you want everything and we'll get it done. If you watch our YouTube, there's actually a recording of this, a video testimonial of he and his wife. But he was so relieved. Like, he just simply wasn't able to do it. He had no kids there that were able to do it. Just the relief that he felt. He said, I actually slept good for a night because, A, I knew my knee was getting better, but 2, my crops were being looked after. They were being planted. It meant so much to them that their business would just continue. It would keep going while he recovered and got back on his feet. And I saw him recently at a trade show, and he jumped up and down on that knee and said, look, it works good now. He says, I really appreciate you guys getting me through that spot because he says, I'm better now. And I was so grateful that you guys showed up and helped me. So,
all right, very good.